Hey now, I'm in my office and it's really blurry. As you can see, I had the blur set on for whatever reason, but we're at Chuck Klein. And what's interesting about Chuck Klein is he had some phenomenal years. Triple Crown winner, MVP. What else? He had 4 home runs in a game. I mean, rumor is he came like within a few feet of hitting a fifth home run in Pittsburgh at Forbes Field. So he may have had the record for most home runs in a game of all time. But he kind of just he was really great, let's say, until he wasn't. And you look at his career from like 1929 to 1934, he was one of the best in the games. He had a 6-year stretch. We were talking about Ralph Kiner earlier, like he was one of the best in the games, and all of a sudden just kind of died off. But again, he didn't have a bad career. I mean, you look at his statistics overall, he batted 320 for his career, 300 home runs, over 2,000 hits. So 1,200 RBIs. And so he was very, very good, if not great Hall of Famer. Died at very young at age 53 in 1958. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more going on. So again, what's interesting is they say President Richard Nixon is responsible as anybody getting him into the Hall of Fame. They asked Richard Nixon who the greatest team he thought was, greatest players of all time he thought when he was president. And he named Chuck Klein to his all-time list. In addition to that, there was a huge letter writing campaign. Remember letter writing campaigns by a teacher? And they said between him and the students, they had thousands upon thousands of people write letters on his behalf to the Hall of Fame. So finally, 1979, the Hall came knocking. Again, long deceased. He died, 30 years before that. So, but again, I think his sister was alive and attended the ceremony. So that makes him a tough autograph. Not really tough, but it's a tough autograph. Forgeries that are out there. Let's go to the PSA DNA and go look at the autograph analysis, and then we will go and we will talk about what makes it so challenging. So anyways, without any further ado, let's take a look at the autograph analysis of Chuck Klein. We're going to start the PSA database if it wants to come up. Come on. Here we go. It's coming slowly. So we're going to look at Chuck Klein. And again, we'll get to this in a second here. The PSA DNA has 7 autographs of it up. For some reason, it's not coming up. So we'll come back to this. So we're going to start right here. And so a couple of years ago, all these contracts from Cubs were released. I picked up Kiki Kyler during this mass release, and Chuck Klein played quite a few seasons with the Cubs. So again, when you're looking for a Chuck Klein autograph, and what you see, this is obviously a rare Charles H. Klein. Usually the C comes up and it either goes above right here or loops right below, but not a big loop, not like down here. It comes up almost like a straight line. It comes down, and you can see it right here with the Charles Klein. Now, autographs signed at the ballpark, similar to like Lou Gehrig's stop. It's just the C Klein, or Paul Wainer is another one now I think about it. Stopped right here. Now, the Klein, this is a little weird for him. Usually the K, the bottom part of this K, is the lowest part of his signature, but usually the K is a 2-stroke K. It's very rare. It's 1931 contract, obviously, that you see a 1-stroke K like this. And then the Klein looks like almost like a U here and a U here. You see almost the U right here. That's typically what you want to see in a Chuck Klein. Again, we know this is from 1931. Let's see. I closed the PSA database. So we're going to do this right here. Again, this is another 1934 autograph of his right here. Let's see if we can zoom in right here. And again, trying to get a better example right here. And I apologize, I'm not so prepared right here because I'm at work, I'm not at home. But you can see right here, again, it's almost like a single line coming up. It doesn't loop around, nearly as close as the C down here. Now we're to the 2-stroke K right here as well. And again, you can see the I and the U. We don't have a real good in depth of this. But again, there's a lot of these contracts. I don't say a lot, like 4 of these contracts came out right here. So if we go right here, again, I don't know if we could, we can zoom in right here. You see almost like this is the C I'm talking about. It's not a big loop right here. So you can see right here, it comes almost like a straight line comes in and back right here. You have a break right here to the Charles, the K right here. The K right here is the lowest point of the autograph. Again, looks like a U right here and a U right here as well, which is you want to see. The K is nice, let's say loopy. I've seen where the K come out. Again, he got a little more flamboyant as the years went on. So let's move right here. This is a 1944 letter. Again, I don't know if we can zoom in on this or not. Not really, but you can see right here, this is where his autograph got a little bit different. He started putting his letters in quotations. You can see right here, the C is very much more, let's say, loopy than everyone else right here. And the Chuck, again, the K right here is a two-stroke K. You see it comes in, comes down, and comes out. The loop's right here and comes down. The K is the lowest part. The U's, as I talked about, is starting to disappear. Again, he had a problem with drinking by this age, but his autograph should be not rushed at all. It should be very smooth, like you see right here. You can go to Heritage Database right here. They have a couple of Chuck Klein autographs we can look at. This one, we're going to pull this one in. I'm not a huge fan of this autograph. Let's put it this way. If I were looking to buy autographs, this is not the one I would buy. I really don't like this K at all. I don't like the fact that, yes, it's the lowest point right here, but it was more of a straight line. I think they say this was signed in the 1930s. I don't know how they would know that. But again, it's just, I'm just not a fan. And again, there was a time in 1947, he had a major stroke. And because of this stroke, he was paralyzed from walking. His mother and his brother tried to recoup him and bring him back to health. And he got better from 1947, 1958. But the rumor is his brother was signing all his autographs post 1947. He really couldn't sign an autograph. So you really need to be careful for that. So is this fake? I don't know. Let's look at a couple other ones right here. Again, his autograph goes for a couple, I would say $500 today. Again, this looks better. I see how the C is coming around like this. The K is a two-stroke K. It loops around. The I and looks like a U right here. Again, I don't like cuts. I'm not a fan of cuts. If I were spending the money, I would avoid a cut. Although government postcard of his is kind of tough to find because of the fact that he started playing when government postcards started to become popular. This right here, this one's on the PSA database, actually. This right here, this is kind of interesting for 1930. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it. We go back to this right here. This is signed in 1931, as you can see right here, 1931. And then you look right here at this right here, and the C looks nothing to me, at least, from 1930 to 1931. It just looks very different to me, the C. See how it's the loop? It could be, yeah, it has everything you want to see. Otherwise, the K looks like a three-stroke K. One stroke right here, one stroke down, and one stroke down here. Again, not what you want to see. The N does look like a U, which is good. My throat's real dry today. There's one here I do want to show, and that's this one right here. And I think this is the one, and I think I know why, that Ron's not a fan of. And this C, it's just all over the place. See this big looping C right here? I think it says 1930s. And this is not the C that he was signing really during the 1930s. The K, again, is very loopy, almost too loopy right here. The I, usually you're going to see more of a U. He's not dotting it right here. The K looping around like that, again, not a fan. I think Ron calls this autograph out for not being really good, and I can see where he gets that from. I don't like how the K dies down right here. You see how it just loops down right here. I mean, you look at well, this is not a good one right here because he started Charles, but just you got to stay away from single sign baseballs. He wasn't signing. It looks like something may be removed right here also. I'm not really sure, so just look out for that. I mean, I would just avoid single sign baseballs altogether. I think this one right here is another. This is the baseball we just looked at. Again, I'm not a big fan of this baseball at all. This is another autograph of Chuck Klein. Can we zoom in anymore? Yeah, right here. See this K? This K is just way too flamboyant for any Chuck Klein. How he loops the K around the other name. This was sold a while ago. But again, this is just one that I would not buy at all. I am not a fan of. Way too loopy. The K is way too flamboyant. He had a very plain Jane signature. So this is the autograph I own of his. This was signed postmarked 1939. It was in the Sitco collection, was a big collector at the time. I like how the C comes one line straight across and down. I think I paid $450 for this. It was from the Bill Madden collection, the writer. Again, you see the two-stroke K right here. Nothing flamboyant. A nice U, though, right here, which is what I want to see. It comes down. It's not on a flat plane against something common with his. So one more I want to show is this one on eBay right now. You could buy this for $1,500, certified by Beckett. And this was signed in 1952. And again, Indianapolis, which is the right place it should be. So the question comes down to, did he sign this or his brother sign this? And it's really tough to tell. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you got the C right here with this straight line and a loop around here. And again, the Chuck is not, you got to put parentheses, which you want to see. Again, the K, the bottom part right here is K. The L comes out a little bit more than what you're used to, but it's not horrible. And the N looks like a U. So was his brother a really good I don't want to say secretarial signer of him or not? I don't know. If you're going to find a Chuck Klein autograph, yeah, I would probably buy this if I didn't have one. I think it's good. I really think it's good. I think the story about his brother signing for him is not correct, but it can be proven or disproven. I don't know. I've never actually read that. Ron doesn't talk about him having a secretarial signature. So it's very possible that those are good. So, I mean, if I were buying a Chuck Klein autograph today, though, I would probably look for a government postcard pre-1947. They're tough. They're out there. They're probably $700, $800, but they're not impossible. So that's a lot of Chuck Klein. Just be careful when you buy. Just be very careful. There are a lot of cuts out there. He was a good signer at the ballpark. But again, most of the ballpark signers are signed C. Klein, not Chuck Klein. So if you were looking to buy one and you want to buy a cut, I would actually look for the C. Klein and not the Chuck Klein. So that's a lot with Chuck Klein. We're going to move from Chuck Klein to arguably the greatest umpire of all time, and that is Bill Clem. So until then, thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep collecting.